largely resources driven, and our major trading partners are very resource hungry countries like China and like India. And even though those countries certainly did slip back in terms of their normal growth, China slipped back from about 15% GDP growth down to about 7.8%. So we are still seeing very strong growth in relative terms from our major Asian trading partners, which has been a major benefit to the Australian economy. In addition to that, of course, the government was very quick on the stimulus introduction, and key to the property market was certainly, well, firstly, interest rates coming back to record lows, or emergency lows, as the RBA likes to call it, but also the fact that we did provide that boost to the first home buyers grant that really started the recovery in Australia's property market. And in many ways, Australia's property market was the major instigator in leading us out of the economic doldrums, and the rest of the economy followed after that.
Tim,
we did see the Australian property market really start to recover in the most affordable housing markets, very much driven by first home buyers, but that demand very quickly spread into the middle of the market and then finally into the top end of the market.
Tim, by the way, we're speaking to Tim Lawless, who's the chief economist or analysis. What do you call yourself, Tim? For RP Data.
Research. So yeah, it goes under many names, but either of those does.
Well, we see you on the TV and on the radio a lot, but it's great to have you with us. But just a couple more questions, if you've got the time. The big one is what's happening with the first home owners bracket of the market across Australia, and then more specifically here in Adelaide?
Well, we have seen that market peak, and of course the rises in interest rates were critical to that. First home buyers are very much sensitive towards housing affordability, and with interest rates down averaging around about 5.5% or so for the non-discounted mortgages, certainly was the lowest rate we've seen for many years. And now that we are starting to see interest rates rising, that has affected not just first home buyer affordability, but also the level of sentiment in the marketplace. And I think it goes without saying that we'll see further interest rate rises coming through the system. In addition to that, first home buyer demand has been dampened somewhat by the halving of the boost to the first home buyers grant, which happened on the 1st of October. So what that really means is that for first home buyers who are looking for a new property, that grant is now $14,000 compared to $21,000 previous to October 1st. And for those first home buyers looking for an established home, it's dropped back to about, I think it's $10,500. And on the 1st of January, that boost will be scrapped entirely and reverting back to just a standard first home buyers grant of $7,000.
Thanks, Tim. That's been absolutely sensational, and welcome to the program. We hope to have you on every couple of weeks, and we very much appreciate your call.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All the best, Tim.
Thanks.
That's Tim Lawless, Chief Analyst at RP Data, and a great source of information for us. Now, for those of you that are interested in seeing the show again, don't forget that you can get your podcast late this evening. If you have any questions or queries, by all means, send them through by email or by calling 1-800-TOOP. And just before we go, let's have a look at the property of the week. Magnificent property. Okay, it's actually one of yours over in Aldgate.
Hi, my name is Kay Morris. Welcome to this beautiful home in 3 Springwood Lane at Aldgate.
Home, very spacious living area. How big is it exactly?
It's close to 30 squares, so it's a really generous proportions. The rooms are big, aren't they?
Very big. So would you say who is suitable for this kind of house?
A family, I think it would ideally suit because of the really large grounds and the swimming pool facility. And for anyone with teenage children, the children's end of the house is fantastic because it's got the family room right adjacent to those bedrooms, so the parents can have privacy away from them, which parents often need.
Any other features of the house that are a real standout?
I think the formal lounge and formal dine when you enter into the house are fantastic, with the Jarrah floors and the really rich curtains, really big big dining setting will fit. So if you're entertaining, great. And the open fire is really lovely in the lounge area.
Gives it a really homely feel, I think.
It does. It gives a really nice feel.
How much are you expecting the house to sell for?
Between 1,150,000 and 1,250,000.
Will it be sold at auction?
If the vendors are very flexible, they're quite happy to sell prior to auction, or hopefully if it doesn't sell at prior to auction, we'll get a really good result for them at auction. They'll also do a very long settlement for anyone who wants a longer settlement, and they'll settle in January. So that gives people who need to sell a home plenty of time.
Great, thank you very much, Kate.
Thanks.
Well, that's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Next week in our finest homes, we've got a beautiful property in Unley Park in Omar Place. You'll need to tune in 1 o'clock Wednesday to see this magnificent home, and don't forget Behind the Blinds as well. See you next week.